I hope it works.
Oh, it's live.
All right, here we go with live. Welcome to the channel. I'm here
Hello.
and you're there. I'm pointing the wrong way. Anyway, you're there. Anyway, my name is Rob.
Right
I'm
here.
here with a brand new Star Wars channel. Here are two with the entertainment crew, and there's two of them. This is Chad on the top, and that's Luca on the bottom. How's everybody doing? I know some people flow into the stream as we go along. Guys, you guys saw the Clone Wars?
Yep.
And you saw the whole season of the Clone Wars? You saw all 7? Did you see every single season?
Yeah, every single season.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you guys feel about, like, which is your favorite season? Was this your favorite season? Was it another one? And why?
I think season 4 was my favorite season because it was I liked the Maul stuff a lot. That's when they introduced him again. I like Obi-Wan going undercover. I thought that was also really good when he died. I thought that it was a very well-rounded season, consistent all the way through. Whereas there's some other seasons like season 7, season 5, they had some bad episodes in it. I remember season 5 had some droid episodes. Season 7 had the Ahsoka and Rafa arc, which wasn't bad, but I don't think it should have been in that season for what was going on at that point in time. So I thought season 4 was my favorite. How about you, Chad?
Right now, season 7, but season 2 is pretty close because I'm loving season. I'm rewatching the Clone Wars, as I said, and season 2 has some really good, landing on Point Rain when they go on Geonosis. That was out of it. It blew it out of the park, man. So I love that one. So season 2 right now is looking pretty good. I don't know if it's gonna be a favorite, but right now I'm gonna say season 7 because of the obviously
you still have to rewatch season 4, 5, and 6 too. Those are pretty good as well.
Season 2 is actually a lot better than I thought it would be. It has some pretty good the battles and everything, and it all comes together in the end. It's pretty good. I like season 2, but for now I would say season 7 because Ahsoka arc. It's So yeah.
I haven't finished watching everything yet. I mean, hopefully, I'll get to it. I've watched up to season 5. Hey, the Mandalorian's in here. How you doing, my friend? I still have to fix what I did last night. Sorry. So I haven't watched all of them yet. But I mean, everybody was like, "Oh, you got to watch it." And I was like, "It's a cartoon." I was like, so at first I was like, it's a cartoon. I thought it was more for kids. But then I started watching it. And watching it, and the more I watched, the more I was hooked. I mean, the first episode was great. To see Yoda, the clones, they were outnumbered, and how are they going to get out of this? It was his big test, and then and I was like, it was just incredible to see what the Jedi's could do that I didn't know they could possibly do. To see powers they had, that jumping and man. Sorry, my daughter's a little loud here.
Yeah,
so. It was really here's another thing too about it, and I think you guys mentioned this in one of your videos. You mentioned how we got to know the clones more, which I thought was fantastic because it's true. When you see the movies, they're just clones, they're just robots. You don't feel anything. But with the Clone Wars, you feel you get to know Captain Rex, you get to know Echo, you get to know Fives, you get to know who they are, and you feel because you hear their stories, you hear what they've been through, so you could feel it. It's not just a soldier, it's now more. And this last episode, we saw how Ahsoka Tano and Rex were talking about each other, how much respect that they had for each other. And I think we wouldn't have got that had we just watched Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. We would have never got these things.
Yep.
I don't know if you agree with me on that, but what do you guys think of that?
I agree. Also, another big thing that Clone Wars is, it's probably one of my most favorite parts of Star Wars are the clones. A lot of it's because of the different legions, battalions. It's the colors and everything, how they're different specialities, 51st, 212. I'd like to go deeper into the battalions and stuff because I like to see different specialities of the battalions. That's that was one of the things that I love about Clone Wars. They go really deep. Like they got the flamethrowers and everything. I think the battalion they did really well making it different. Like the different. It's like each battalion has its own personality. Like the
Yeah.
51st.
Yeah. And it's kind of similar to the generals, their personalities a little bit.
Like you could see, like they're not just oh hi, I want to say hi, Darth Elliot. How are you, man? And the Mandalorian, how are you, man? Hope you guys are well. Thanks for coming to the stream. The Mandalorian says, and what I didn't know as well is that what happened in the Clone Wars TV show is between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, that's where it is. Yeah, it's right in between. It's when the Clone Wars first started in Attack of the Clones.
Well, it's a little bit afterwards, I think.
What's that? The clone? Oh, the cartoon you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit after that. So we first see the Clone Wars begin in the Attack of the Clones, and then the Clone Wars, and then we have Revenge of the Sith.
Yep. It's still technically going on in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh no, I know it's you, Shadow. I know. What happened? Let me explain what happened with the guy who's the Mandalorian in here. By accident, last night I was playing Battlefront 2. I was live, and he's one of the guys. And by accident, for some reason, it hit him, my phone, and now I got to figure out how to unhide him. And I'm like, what a mess I did. And it was a total accident. I felt bad. So he had to make another account to come in the stream.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So here's what it too. Like I noticed now they're doing a lot of Ahsoka Tano, right? They have she's going to be in the Mandalorian live action. Yep. It's rumored she's going to have her own show. I don't know if that's true or not. How do you guys feel? Do you think it's too much Ahsoka Tano, or do you feel like this is where they need to go? This is what the fans want.
I think it's way too much Ahsoka Tano. Like they have a whole Clone Wars season basically on Ahsoka Tano. Now they're having a series and they're having a Mandalorian. I think if it's true that they're having on a Mandalorian and her own series, then I think that's a little too much. They could delve deeper into more like different stuff rather than just playing Ahsoka once again.
Hey.
So, yeah. She wanted to say hi. I was like, say hi. Oh my God, say hi to the guy. Sorry. Go ahead, Luke.
I like the character, don't get me wrong. I think in the first season and even the movie, their movie, I thought she's horrible. She was really bad. But then she progressed as a character. Like she went from Rey to like on odds with Anakin Skywalker as a character. I liked that. And I think that we don't need her own TV show. We don't need that. We already have the Clone Wars. We have Rebels, and we have a book about her. I don't think she can be a Mandalorian. That's fine. She can have a cameo. She can be part of that. Shows us where she was after Rebels, but she doesn't need her own show. I think that's a little bit too much because we already have a lot of her. I think we should focus on some other characters like Vader, maybe Obi-Wan. Where's Obi-Wan TV show? Where is it? They announced it. Vader, all this stuff. We need to focus on other characters now instead of just her, I think we focused on her enough.
So Mandalorian says apparently Boba will be in the Mandalorian. Too much Ahsoka Tano. It's supposed to be about a bounty hunter. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know why Tano's in there, but rumor, again, what I heard is that she might take Baby Yoda because that they were after
what
Baby Yoda. Yeah, and now again, this is just rumor. I'm not saying it's true. Maybe
why are they having her do it out of all the people though? That doesn't really make sense. Why he'd have her do it?
Well, they were saying because she's force sensitive, so she could protect Baby Yoda instead of everybody hunting him down. Like he can't go anywhere without everybody chasing him, like we saw in I think it was episode 4.
How old is she in?
She's got to be old.
Mandalorian. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. This time, because I think it takes place 5 years after the Return of the Jedi.
She's got to be like late 40s, early 50s, I'd say.
Probably.
And she's getting old.
But again, it's rumor. I don't know if that's the truth or not. I can't. There's nothing I can prove. That's just what I heard. Yeah, Boba Fett's coming back. I mean, I think that's going to draw fan interest. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought that when they heard the Spurs.
They're shoving
And
everyone in this
Yeah, I'm fine with
second
I'm fine
season.
with Boba, but Ahsoka makes the Star Wars universe a little bit like it's like everybody knows each other, you know? Like it's
Right.
it makes it small universe. It seems like it makes it small universe by having everybody know it. Like, oh, Luke, oh, I know Ahsoka. Oh, everybody knows everybody in the Star Wars universe. So I feel like there should be kind of a distancing with some people. Like every Mandalorian doesn't need to know everybody. Okay, like Ahsoka, maybe Boba's fine because it makes sense because they're kind of both Mandalorian, but not Ahsoka. Not Ahsoka.
No, I know what you're saying. I agree. I think they need to bring in some other characters like maybe we've never seen before, never heard of. One of the comments I read, I mean, mostly the Mandalorian. Oh, no, the Mandalorian will continue, by the way. It's not that they would end. They're actually doing season 3. So they've already finished 2, and they're going to start filming season 3. So, no, it's not. This is not the end of the Mandalorian. They're going to continue. Hey, Boss Bounty, how are you? That's a good channel, by the way, guys. If you don't know Boss Bounty, he does a lot of Star Wars collecting. So he shows a lot of figures, and he does reviews of the figures. He's a really great, very good channel. So if you want to check him out, you guys might want to check him out. Boss, if you want to put your link, dude, feel free. Go right ahead, put your link in the chat if you want to. And thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. If you guys want to check him out, he's a really cool channel. So what else was going to say? So here's, like I said, I agree with you. It is a huge galaxy. They're feeding off the old. I don't know if it's because they're scared to bring in new characters because of the feedback they got from the sequel trilogy. I think maybe they're trying to draw the fans back. Maybe they feel like, oh my God, did we lose too many fans? How are we going to get them back? Let's bring in Palpatine. Let's bring Lando. Let's bring Ahsoka Tano. Let's bring Boba Fett. Maybe that's the route they're going to try and get the fan base back to them and say, hey, we'll use this as a platform to work on the future. So we got to draw the fans back. That's my kind of thought. You there?
Yes, sorry. I've been having.
Yeah, sorry. I had a little trouble. I don't know what happened with my Wi-Fi there.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, it just cut out. I was like, I don't know why that happened, but I'm back again. So well, Wi-Fi. What happens is everybody's home, so everybody's using internet service. So sometimes it's YouTube said that sometimes live streams are going to cut, and it's for me to go near my router. So I had to go back to my router. So sorry about that. So let me get Chad back in here. There we go. Sorry. It said that there was a Wi-Fi connection problem. So I had to go near my router. So I had to change positions. So now you get view of my couch. Anyway, so we were talking about Boss Bounty says, I'm hoping Boba is just a flashback or a small part. I don't want him to take the shine off the Mando too much. So here's what I felt that Disney does. They I love your house. So what they do is they take a character and they're like, okay, let's do IG-11, but we have IG-88. Let's do the Mandalorian, but we had Boba Fett. So I'm like, then I mean, I guess they're new characters in a way. They're different. I mean, there are other Mandalorians, yes. There are other droids, of course. But it's not like this is entirely something we've never seen before, So some people have a problem with that, and I get that. I get their complaints. Like, I love it, but again, it kind of reminds me of the original Star Wars. How do you guys feel about that kind of comment from some people?
I would like more diversity in terms of content. That would be nice, but I'm fine with it because it is near the original trilogy timeline. It's like 5 years after, so it's not really that like a big of a time jump. But I would like to see more new stuff. Like the prequels, it brought like new stuff. It brought Clone Wars. It brought all these Jedi. It brought basically Jedi, everything. So I would like to see some kind of new creative thing that they're gonna do, which that we didn't get from sequels. So I'm still waiting for something like hugely creative. But I mean, I think The Mandalorian's fine. It's pretty close to the original. Anyway.
I enjoyed the first season. It was very.
You enjoyed it, okay? Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. Believe me, I enjoyed it a lot. I really enjoyed it. Just. Like I said, I to see one of my things I loved about it was to see that IG robot in action. Man, I was so blown away to see the thing spin around, boom, 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 boom. I was like, oh my god, it was wicked. It was to me. Oh, if you want to check out the Entertainment Crew, their new Star Wars channel, please check that link right below. Let's see if I can show it. It's a show. Let's see if it works. So there you go. That's the link there. Check it out. That's the Entertainment Crew. This is Chad and Luke. If you've just joined us, check out that channel here. Click on that link and go check out the guys, man. They're pretty cool. Hi, Ro. What's up? I see you there. The Mandalorian says, I loved season 1 of The Mandalorian. Yeah, I did too. I think, listen, overall, it was a huge hit. Huge hit. And I think that this is the way Disney needs to go. Streaming service, Obi-Wan Kenobi. They said it's going to be 4 parts instead of 6. That I think that's going to happen. They're doing the Rogue One spin-off series. That's going to happen. Yeah, I don't know what else we're going to get. I have no idea. We're just going to have to wait. But I think, in my opinion, because right now Disney, I don't know if you guys know, is $50 billion in debt. $50 billion in debt.
What? When did that happen?
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know it either till I looked it up. People were talking about it on the live stream. They're like, oh, yeah, Disney's in trouble. I was like, what are you talking about? And I went to look it up, and I was like, oh, my God, they are. They're $50 billion in debt. And now with the virus, they have no one going to their theme parks. There's no movies that can be shown. They were supposed to have the Black Widow by now. That can't be shown because of the virus. So I don't know where the future lies with them. Once this virus is over, when are they going to put out the movies? They got to jump back into this, but business and everything else.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a huge. People didn't know that, but they are. Netflix is $11 billion in debt.
People in the chat are surprised about being $50 million in debt.
Yeah. I get. Yeah, let me show. Hold on, I'll show right now. Yeah, 50 billion. I'm not kidding you. It's a huge amount of money. So they did great with Marvel. They've done great with Marvel. And the Clone Wars is a big hit. But do you feel that we should have got more from the Clone Wars? Do you feel there should have been more episodes? It was only 12. It was 3 arcs. Are you guys satisfied with that? Or is there something more you've wanted to see in this?
Here's for me, I think that season 6 was 13, 14 episodes. I think they could have added on to that season. And then I also think they could have made season 7 22 episodes. Both season 6 and season 7, 22 episodes. We don't need an 8th season. That's fine. I don't care. But why are these last 2 episodes so small? And then the rest of the
the seasons 1 through 5, 22, and then these last two are like really small. It kind of is a little bit like it doesn't really make sense. It's not like TV shows usually have the same amount of episodes each season, all the way consistently through. But the last two for the Clone Wars, because of season 6, the error, they had to cut it off, discontinue it, and I don't know why season 7 is so small. I think they could have made them both bigger. Like, why is season 7 have to be so small? They have the money to make more episodes.
Well, do they?
Yeah, money right now is the kind of a factor, I would think.
It's not, but before this pandemic happened, they already had it all set up for 12 episodes. They could have done more.
Yeah.
I think I'm satisfied, but when I did learn it was only 12, I was kind of disappointed because I looked at the rough drafts of their episodes for season 7 back then, like 2 years ago. There's they released the drafts for like the Bad Batch, all the episodes, and there was more than 12. There's a lot more than 12. I don't know why they couldn't just like animate the rest because everything was already done. The voice work was done, the basic models were already done. They just had to animate it, and they didn't do it. Like the Boba versus Cad Bane, there's a bunch of episodes they didn't do. Also, the Martez one, it didn't. I don't know why they added that arc because it didn't. It doesn't feel like a.
Where's the
go on?
Where's the Cade Bane and Boba Fett arc?
Yeah, I would have loved to see that.
I would want to see that more than Ahsoka and the sisters. Where is that? Never got to.
And plus, the Martez sisters arc, it didn't feel like an end season, like the season's end. It didn't feel like it was fit for that.
Right.
So, yeah.
I see with the Mandalorian. They could have got more.
Yeah. So so we all agree, including my boy in the chat, that they should have pumped out more episodes of the Clone Wars. But what you're distracting me here. What do you guys think? What would if you were in charge of the Clone Wars? What more would you have put in? They're gonna watch my daughter jump in the background. What more would you guys have put in the Clone Wars? Would I know she's so cute. I can't help it. I love her too much. You can jump. Go ahead. You want to jump in the back? Or go ahead. I don't care. What you got? Like for me, I'll give you an example. I would have showed more of Anakin starting to turn to the dark side. I would have showed him making choices that are not the Jedi way. That's what I would have added to it. I would have, because I wanted to see more Anakin going dark. Right. And I wanted to see him like, well, wait a second, like, wait a minute, because this is not like we got a glimpse of that in episode 4 when the guy said, well, you're not going to kill me because you're a Jedi. It's not the Jedi. And he kills him. I was like, yes, this is what I want to see. And I didn't get, you need to pass? Okay, hold on 1 second. Hold on. I got to cut me off. Hold on a second. Go ahead. You guys can talk. Cameras off.
Yeah, one thing that did not make sense in season 7 is when Ahsoka and Anakin last met, he was like just a nice guy and everything. And then boom, under the Sith, he's just, like freaking killing.
Well, I think stuff. I actually like that because I think it made Revenge of the Sith more tragic because he was like, how could this nice guy, like Anakin, like he was pretty, like that's probably the nicest he's ever been because like he got ignored a couple times. You saw his face in the Clone Wars. He was like in season 7, like the first episode of the Ahsoka arc. He was really like he really wanted to see Ahsoka, and Ahsoka just kind of ignored him a little bit, and he was like he didn't say anything. So I actually like it because it's kind of sad thinking Anakin, like this super nice guy, turned into this super evil guy. Like it's monumental change, and it's kind of sad. It makes it sadder, I think. That's why I think it makes it better.
So you think that we didn't need to see Anakin getting a little darker, that you were okay with?
We could have, not with Ahsoka. I'm talking about with like the trench is fine, like with the Separatists, but not with his friends, because I think he always cared about his friends. Like he never goes to the dark side with his, like when he's with his friends. It's only when it's like he's alone and there's like a
Right. But I'm saying
manifest or something.
like maybe he could have made choices when he was on his own, when like he got angry, or you just saw him like do something like something you didn't expect. Like the episode 4, I didn't expect him to kill that guy. That was shocking. Like no remorse. He was like just really got angry. It just showed he was all by himself and like, and like, okay, now you're done. Now what? Like you want to talk back to me? Now you're done.
Yeah,
I was
like that.
whoa, Anakin. And I think if we got more of that, like there could have been maybe another battle or something fierce. Maybe someone dies like right in front of him and he cares about it. It could have been a clone. It could have been, a commander. It could have been someone like that. He sees it like he starts getting angry, and we could hear some of the music. It could have been just, I would have liked to see that right before they put this arc out. Like if they would have done 4 more episodes with more Anakin in it, that would have really have got to me. I really would have been like, yes.
Yeah, I would have liked.
Again, my opinion.
I wish you were in more of the season 7. It kind of feels a little bit out of place without Obi-Wan and Anakin in a lot of it.
But I think I would have liked to see quarrels, like because he didn't really like Mace Windu. Maybe they got into like some arguments, Mace Windu and Anakin. Because I do think Mace Windu is probably the most determining factor of why he was willing to kill the Jedi. I think Anakin was just pretty much fed up. So I would have liked Mace Windu. Like
Mace Windu was a really big to him for sure.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
I think you're right. I think you're right, because when you get to the point when he's like on the chancellor puts him on the council, like the first thing's like, how could you be a master, with being on the council? And he's like, take a seat. Like, and that go away before you get hurt. She tripped over me. That to me is like, that was the first thing. Like you could see Mace throughout this is always questioning Anakin. I think it could be. Oh, okay. Hold on. I think it could be because Anakin, like maybe Mace thought he was the chosen one, and maybe he was upset. I know my daughter's so funny, and maybe he was upset that, look, I'm the one who should be next in line. I'm the one who should bring the balance, not this boy, not this guy. And I think maybe Maya, go. Your thing's so distracting. Stop. So you want somebody? No. So I think that to me. Oh, hi, Will Gentry. I just saw you posting here, and I saw another comment. I'll get to the chat in a minute. I think that the Mace Windu was definitely a factor. I think him having that vision, he knew like Mace was being the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Yep. And in my mind, in that scene, when he's about to kill Palpatine, no, he can't be alive. He's too powerful. I was like, dude, you don't do that. That's not for you to make that decision. And Anakin was like, well, I got 2 choices here. If he dies, my wife dies. So if I don't save him, my wife is dead. My wife's going to die.
Right. The thing is, I think that Mace Windu shouldn't have like gone just recklessly in there to face him alone. He's way too overconfident in his own abilities, I think.
That's one.
Especially, why would you bring those type of Jedi if they're just gonna die in seconds? Like, bring Yoda, bring Obi-Wan, like, bring all the people. It's not like just randomly die, right? Like, we need skilled people here. Why did he not ask for Yoda to come? Why? I don't understand.
Yeah, he could have flew in from Kashyyyk.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I thought he should have waited. He went recklessly.
Yeah.
I think Mace Windu is what I think he's like he personifies what's wrong with the Jedi Order at that time. Like he's brash. I mean, Anakin is, but he's not. He's more of like creative type. Mace Windu, he just goes in there, like tries to kill Palpatine, and like I think Mace Windu is a little too power hungry too. Like when he's talking to you, when in the council meetings, it's not like Yoda's the Grandmaster. Like Mace Windu is basically the Grandmaster because he's like the ones making decisions and everything. Like I think Mace Windu is a bit. He's basically if you put all the things that's wrong with the Jedi Order in one person, that's Mace Windu. That's why the Jedi pretty much decayed and it failed. And
funny thing is, he said we are the peacekeepers. Yeah, he's like,
yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you brought this up because this is what I wanted this to lead to, and it's perfect. You guys brought up something I wanted it to go to. Basically, what you just said it perfectly, Luke. They're peacekeepers, and what do the Martinez sisters say? Well, not all people see the Jedi as heroes, and Ahsoka's like, "What do you mean?" And then she explains what happened to her family, and this is what happens in a war. This is what innocent people, civilians die in a war because they're fighting the fight. And how could you be peacekeepers if you're part of the war? And Ahsoka tells Rex, look, all my life, I was supposed to be a peacekeeper, but I'm a soldier. I've been nothing but a soldier. And I was like, my mind was blown because I was like, yes, this is exactly what was wrong with the Jedi. They went from being these peacekeepers and try and keep peace between two places and just say, hey, listen, do we have to fight? Let's calm down. And to saying, well, if you're not going to do what we see fit, we're going to come in there and start killing you.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's not peacekeeping.
Yeah. Funny thing is, Ahsoka realized this in season 7 finally. Like, she had a open viewpoint. And when she was especially saying, like, on the ship to Rex, like you said, about this isn't how it should be. And I think that arc, the Martez arc, kind of opened her up a bit more on, like, the reality things. I could tell in the Mandalorian arc that
comment is pretty good.
Yeah, it's a funny comment, so I put it up there. I wanted you to see that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And to me, like, listen, in a war, we know people are going to die. It's a war. It has to happen, right? That's why people are like, oh, this one died, that one died. But it makes it more realistic when they don't. Well, I want this comment. Okay, there you go. So it makes it more realistic. You have a war and that people die. Okay, I get it. And then that makes it realistic. But what the Jedi were doing, to me, it was starting to become a power trip. And I think Mace Windu was like, he was being corrupted. He was being corrupted because this is how I got him. First of all, Samuel L. Jackson played fantastic. Awesome. Loved it.
I agree.
But he seemed like, okay, look, I know I'm a badass. I know I'm one of the best duelists of the Jedi, without a doubt. I know I'm powerful. And Yoda's getting old. Someone's going to take over. And then he's like, and then all of a sudden he suggests, well, that would mean if we take him out of power, then the Jedi have to become the Senate. I'm like, dude, wait a second here. You're getting a little bit crazy. So are you a Jedi? Or are you trying to be like, I wonder if he would have killed Palpatine, when Mace Windu have become the next evil? Would he have become, I'm going to take the Senate over. Now I'm going to go and kill the Jedi. I'm wondering myself, I was like, man, this could have went a different way.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel, oh, this is a great comment also. I'm going to put this up. I want to show you this in the chat. This is a great comment. Also, kidnapping children. So they could build their order bigger. But is that true, though? More like power. Yes.
Yeah, if I didn't know the Jedi did that, I would think like, oh, the Sith probably do that. Like, oh, I bet the Sith take people's children away. But then, boom, Jedi do that. And it's kind of, when you think of it, like, it's kind of unethical because they never get to meet their mothers or their parents. So it's not really, the Jedi are little, at least Sith, in the Old Republic, Sith, like, parents have to pretty much, a lot of times, they turn in their child to be Sith, which is still bad, but they don't really steal. Sith don't really steal. So in a way, that's a little worse than Sith even.
Yeah, the thing is, Ahsoka, Maul had said it in the episode. He's like, it's from a certain point of view. Like, there's no good, there's no bad. There's just like two big evils, pretty much. And there's no good or bad.
The Jedi, I think the core of the Jedi is good, but what they return to in the Clone Wars is definitely not. Like, I think they kind of betrayed their ideals in the Clone Wars.
They did. Empire, Republic, they were both the big ones of their time. They weren't good. They were corrupt.
they're pretty much the same thing, except for Empire didn't have Jedi. Like they're pretty much the same thing. And I didn't realize it. It kind of blew my mind when I thought of it when Maul was talking about like, oh, they're like, it's kind of true because they're conquering all these worlds, and they're pretty much the Empire already, like even with the Jedi.
Sorry, I'm getting dogged. My daughter's like, oh my god. First live stream, and all this craziness is happening. So yeah, I mean, I just felt like, like there's a guy. He's not here. I wish he was here. His name is Grievous Hero, and a lot of people disagree. He's like, oh, Grievous was a hero. Grievous was a hero, and people like that. Yeah, no, dude, that's not right. I'm like, wait a minute. Obviously, people don't know the lore, because Grievous didn't attack the Jedi just because. He wasn't trying to take power. He even says during the Clone Wars, he says, I don't care about Dooku's politics. I'm not in this for the politics. So people are like, well, why was he? No one questioned, why was Grievous in this war? Why? He wasn't in this because he wanted to take power. He was in this because the Jedi came and took the side of this other group, and they were killing his people. The Jedi did not question it. The Jedi didn't say. What happened was there was a group, I forget the name, they came to Grievous's planet to try and take over his planet. And they were doing so until Grievous and his girl just were like annihilating. They were super warriors. They considered them like semi gods, they came and started annihilating these people. And Grievous was like, okay, good, we won the war. They went to the Jedi because Grievous followed them to the planet and said, you're not going to come back to my planet. You come to invade my planet, now I'm going to kill you. So Grievous took it a little bit too far, and they ran to the Jedi and said, oh, please, they're trying to take over our planet. And the Jedi like, okay, so we'll come there and we'll wipe them out.
Yeah.
This is the problem I had with the Jedi, and this is why people don't see that Grievous was only doing what any other person would do, defend your people. People don't get that because they only saw the movie. They don't understand that.
The Jedi were pretty blind. I'll admit that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but
I think the separatists at its core, I don't think they're pure evil. I think the separatists is around the same as like Republic, but the methods they use is, I mean, separatists. I think they made them look a little bit too evil. Separatists. I feel like they could have just like they showed separatists like mass murdering people. I don't think. I think they could have made the separatists a little bit more like a grayer side in the Clone Wars, but overall, separatists, at their like when you look at their core values and everything, it's really I don't think it's like pure evil. Really, like they just want pretty much. They think the Republic's putting too much restrictions on them, pretty much. It's controlling them too much, which is true in a little bit. It's not a little bit. It is true. The Republic was, especially towards the Clone Wars, they were controlling the planets like in a tight grip. So that's pretty much what the Separatist core was. So I think the Separatists are kind of. You could probably excuse them more so like the politicians or like the senators and stuff. So yeah, I would agree. I would partly agree with that.
No.
Now, since we're talking about the Clone Wars, let's talk about season 7. I've seen some of your videos, but some people here might not have. So I want you guys to get a reaction of what you thought of the different arcs, the Bad Batch, the Martinez sisters, and the last arc. I want to get your overall view of season 7, both your opinions, and go ahead. Show is yours.
You can go first.
All right. The Bad Batch, I thought it was a good arc. Okay, I thought it was a good arc. It kind of this is my fault, but I watched the rough draft of it, so it kind of took a little bit from like watching the finished version. But I would say it's pretty good. I think they could have tied it a little bit to the Ahsoka arc. Maybe they could have been in the Ahsoka arc or something. But I feel like it's a little unrelated too, like Bad Batch, and then like the other two arcs are about Ahsoka. But I think it's pretty good. It's a really good arc. Captain Rex, they kind of they kind of flesh out his character. Not really, but kind of. Like it shows that he cares about his fellow clones and everything. Like he has a heart. So Bad Batch is good. Martez Sisters. Initially, I loved it. Like I was all about. I was like, yeah, Martez. I remember if you watch our first the first Martez thing, we gave it like what is it, 9? I think.
We gave it
So
like
I
a good rating. It was very fresh. It was very fresh.
Yeah.
It was something
We
new.
loved it, dude. We were like, yeah, it's the best, one of the best episodes. But then when I watched more and more of it, like I started to question, like in the second episode of the Martez Sisters, where they were in the prison, they do a whole episode of them escaping, and then they get caught again, and then they're in the same situation in the end. Like it makes zero sense. So I feel like they could have just cut that out. The Martez. I don't think it's a bad. If they put it in season 6, it would have been a pretty good episode. But they put it. That's the thing. They placed it in the last season, the very last season. They could have put them there. They chose to put them something like super unrelated. But I thought it was fine as a standalone. It was probably like an average, pretty average.
It's like the sequels again. As movies on their own, they're I think they're all right. But if you put them in a Star Wars franchise, they're not good at all.
Ahsoka. Well, the Ahsoka arc, I thought it was probably either the best or one of the best arcs. I'm not really sure, but for now, I would say it is the best arc because it kind of just ended it off in a very climactic way. So, yeah. Luke, what do you think of it?
I thought the Bad Batch arc was really good. I didn't know much about these guys. I did not watch the rough draft of it when they were being created. I thought that each one had their own personality and they're all dysfunctional. I like that. I thought that was good. That gave like episodes a lot more of spunk to it. Like there's the big guy, I forget his name. He's like the warrior on the team. He was like funny, you know, all he wanted to do was beat up people. And then there's another one that was like a sniper or whatever. How they all thought differently throughout the whole squad. And I liked how who was it? Not Fives, Echo, or what was it? Join them? I'm forgetting. It was Echo or someone.
Echo was Echo.
No, Echo was the one who was kidnapped. Echo was the one that they had to go save.
I like how he joins their crew because he was very different. He got tortured pretty much, you know. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I thought that we were going to see him again in this season. I thought we were going to see Bad Batch and Echo.
You know what I wonder? Like when Order 66 happened, like do you think they like kept going with the Empire or?
No, I think they did their own thing. I think
because they were defective, so
yeah, I don't think they did.
Yeah, maybe they didn't follow it.
I don't think they had the chips. I don't think.
Yeah, especially the original Bad Batch without Echo. I mean, Echo, but I'm pretty sure Echo has it still, right? Maybe he removed it. I don't know, but that's what I'm wondering. I feel like they could have put the Bad Batch in with Ahsoka on the ship, pretty much. Like they could have put it all together in that way, like the Bad Batch being on like Ahsoka's ship. Maybe they try to hunt Ahsoka. Like it could have been interesting. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
I thought that the best scene in that arc was when Anakin killed Trench. I liked that a lot. I know we talked about it earlier.
Yeah, we did talk about it. Yeah.
It showed us a little bit of his darkness. I was surprised they did that. I was kind of shocked, but it made sense. So I liked that arc. I think it was pretty good. The Martez arc with Trace and Rafa. Again, it started out good. Like it started out pretty good. But then it just dragged on too much, I'd say. I think the first 2 episodes were pretty good, and then the last 2 just like, come on, like we can move on from this. This is going to be a little bit much of a like dragged on. Like I wanted to see other episodes, different settings.
How much episodes was that?
It was 4.
4. Dang.
Yeah, each one had 4 episodes. We had the Bad Batch for 4 episodes. We had the Martinez sisters for 4 episodes, and then we had this last arc with Maul for 4 episodes. Right? Well, I'll call the last arc Order 66. I don't know what else to call it. The Mandalorian says Cody became a part of the Empire, and they said some of that was mentally affected by the Clone Wars, was not suited for the new order, the Galactic Empire. All right, Trap, take care. I'll see you later. So I just saw he had to go. So here's what happened with most clones, and it's funny because I was going to do a video about this. Most clones, when the war ended, some of them retired because remember their age process was double a human being. So if we're 30, they're 60. If we're 20, they're 40. So it was doubled to get them in the army faster to fight the war. So some of them retired, some of them joined the Empire, some of them became trainers, some of them just became for hire. They're like, okay, I'll just, if someone needs me to do a job or something, I'll just do that, like a smugglers, bounty hunters, stuff like that. Because they weren't sure to do with their life because the only thing they were trained for was to go fight in a war. So when the war was ended, they're like, okay, now what do we do? Now the Empire stopped the whole cloning process. They stopped that, and they stopped the Separatists, and they made their own army by kidnapping children, kind of like exactly what the First Order did, getting young kids from families and putting them into the Empire and brainwashing them to become soldiers. They did the same thing with the Stormtroopers. They did the same thing with the First Order. It's like the same thing. Huh?
Like the Jedi.
Like the Jedi did, and the Sith even did that. The Sith during the Jedi Purge were taking kids that were Force sensitive and bringing them to their side.
So everybody kidnapped everybody pretty much.
Yeah. And I explained what happened to these kids. There was a episode of Darth Vader comic which was excellent. I was reading. I think it was number 19. Eth Koth was somebody who survived Order 66. So he went on to have a family, and as his wife just gave birth. Vader comes and finds him and his wife. So he's defending, he's trying to get his wife out of there, but Vader has Inquisitors. So the Inquisitors get the baby from the wife. They don't kill the wife. She escapes actually, but she thinks she's going to get away with the baby, and they use the Force. They take the baby and they kidnap the baby. And Vader kills the Jedi. So, and this is what happens. Now, they never explained, as far as I know. I don't know what happens to these Force-sensitive children that the Sith were kidnapping, because we don't get that. We get Darth Maul, and we get, Ventress, and we get, that's all we get. We don't know about any other Sith. So I'm like, okay, so what happens? The Jedi extinct, there's Vader. Yeah. And I remember during one of the comics that Vader kills one of the Inquisitors because something happens with them. And he winds up killing them too. He kills 2 of them. Now, I don't officially know what happens with all the Inquisitors, and I don't know what happens with these children.
I think they're pretty sure they're all dead I'm pretty sure they're all dead by A New Hope. All the Inquisitors were dead.
I'm sure of it because the rule is it's the rule of 2. And Sidious was very scared to lose his power. Very scared. So he figures, well, I'm not going to lose my power, and the more Force sensitive there are, someone's going to kill me. They want to become master. I can't trust anybody. I'm assuming, like you did, he probably killed anybody Force sensitive but Vader. Because Vader was his boy.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play The Force Unleashed?
Very close.
I tried, but then I kind of stopped midway. But yeah, I did.
By the way, as I was saying, I think that the Bad Batch arc was good. I thought the Martez arc was good at first, but it dragged on for too long. And then the Siege of Mandalore arc, or whatever you want to call it, I agree with Shed. I think that was one of the best arcs. I don't know if it's the best yet. I'm rewatching the Clone Wars as a whole now to see what is. So I think it's in the top 3 for sure.
And you know how Republic clones and stuff, and I think it kind of shows how Republic is also decayed because they are basically forcing these people they basically force these people to fight for the Republic, even though they never made a choice. They never picked I want to fight for Republic. No, they were forced to do it. When they were born, they were trained.
Hey, clones forced to as well.
Huh?
Yeah. Clones
I'm talking about clones right now. the Republic forced clones to fight. Like if they try to go away, they're probably gonna try to find them or something.
Yeah, like if you think about it, everybody was forced, right? The Jedi take these Force-sensitive kids; they were forced to be Jedi, right?
Yeah.
Then you got the Empire, same thing. First Order, same thing. So, like a lot. I mean, maybe not the Republic. I think the Republic is the only one, and the Resistance. Maybe none of them said, "I got to
I
kidnap
think
someone."
Republic is like the clones. I don't think
The clones.
Yeah, the clones didn't choose to fight. They were like born, and then they were just basically that's all they know because that's all the Kaminoans have taught them. At least the Separatists, they didn't use actual like living beings. They just used droids. But the Republic, they're like, oh, we gotta make it more efficient. So let's just use. So they were willing to use clones. So yeah,
What do you think of this comment? Clones were honestly the best thing to ever come to Star Wars.
I would say it's probably like up there. It's probably one of the best. Yeah, I would agree.
Hold on, let me
I
find
don't
another
know,
one.
like whoever thought of clones, probably George Lucas, is a genius, man. Whoever thought of clones.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's all right. Hold on, I'm trying to get a comment in. I don't know
Some
if it's
clones
gonna
were
work.
forced.
There we go. Now, did you hear about this? That some clones were Force sensitive as well.
I didn't know that.
I don't know that because I don't remember them ever saying that the clone was Force sensitive. And when Palpatine was creating in the Rise of Skywalker, first of all, they made his son, and he was disappointed because his son was not Force sensitive. The only clone that I know that had the Force was Snoke, but it wasn't because it was Snoke. It was because it was the Emperor's spirit in Snoke. It was technically Palpatine. So I don't know if any clone was ever Force sensitive, not to my knowledge.
Yeah. Is that
I'm
possible?
not
Because
aware.
technically, like Jango Fett is a DNA, right? And Jango Fett wasn't Force sensitive, so I don't know. Is it really? Like,
Well, the Jango Fett's DNA was the clones. They took his DNA to make the clones and make Boba.
oh, okay.
But
Yeah, I know,
but Boba wasn't aged. So Boba didn't age 2 years for every year. He said, I don't want Boba to age like that. Also, Boba didn't have the chip in him. So he was different.
I'm talking about like the Force sensitive. Like, I don't think they be Force sensitive because Jango Fett wasn't Force sensitive. So if any of the, I don't know. Maybe it's like a defect or something.
Yeah, I don't know if any. Maybe it's in a book I haven't read or something, or comic book. But I'm not.
I don't think they can be. I don't think so.
Also, I wanted to say that I agree with you guys with the Clone Wars. I think you guys said it perfectly. I think the first four, I loved how the Bad Batch worked together, how they all had some kind of different trait, yet together they were very strong as a unit. One guy was just brutal. He was a big, I'm going to kick everybody's ass. The other guy was a sniper. The other guy was the intelligence. And the other guy was like the hunter. But together, they were powerful. And they fought in a way that we never saw. Because the clones, what do? Usually hide behind something. There's the robots try to outpower them because there's so many of them. So they're hiding behind things and they have to try and find a strategy. They were like, we're not doing that. We're just going straight at them. And I was like, wow, that was the strategy. Just go at them. And you didn't see that, because the clones were so like military. These guys were just, no, we're coming in. We're like special forces. We're coming in we're going to wipe them out. I agree with you. I love the way how they worked together. I thought it was beautiful. I loved it. I love that arc. I thought that arc was great. The Martinez sisters, here's the thing. Again, I'll say this again. I said this earlier in the live stream. I'm going to say it now. I think the only point that was trying to prove that they were trying to get to the point that the Jedi are not perfect. They are not the heroes. Everybody who sees them as heroes, that's not true. Not everybody in the light says, oh, they're Jedi, the heroes. No, some people see them as, you killed my family. Because of you, my family is dead. Now you come up to me and say, well, let the Force be with you. And you walk away? Like, what am I supposed to do the rest of my life now? How do I survive? Yeah. How do I live? Like, you don't care. You're just going to go off and fight your war. That's a peacekeeper? You realize what you did here. It's because of you this happened. And I felt that. And then when Ahsoka Tano concluded saying, all I've ever been was a soldier, but we're supposed to be peacekeepers. And Rex is like, well, we were trained to be soldiers. So
Yeah.
I get the differences between Ahsoka Tano, how she feels. And when she said, I don't know if you guys remember this, but early in the Clone Wars, when she walks away from the Order and she's walking in, and Anakin's stopping her, he's like, wait, don't go, don't go. She's like, I have to do this for me. And he turns around and he's like, yeah, I know how you feel.
Man, Anakin was trying
Yeah,
to
that was actually pretty powerful. The one where he says like he knows what it feels like to want to leave. That was.
No, I think that Anakin was a sly guy. I think he was trying to get Ahsoka and Padme.
He was trying to get Ahsoka what?
Trying to get Ahsoka and Padme. He was a sly guy, you know.
Uh,
5 years.
wow. All right.
You could tell, man. You could just tell the tension. Anakin, and when Anakin saw her again in season 7, he was like, yes.
That is true. I feel like Anakin has a stronger connection with Ahsoka than he has with Padme, to be honest.
Hey, listen, man. There's nothing wrong with liking what's her species, Togruta or whatever. Nothing wrong.
Man.
Here's a good point. Wait, I'm going to bring up a good point here. Peacekeepers cut off Jango's head. They cut off Dooku's head, etc. There you go.
Listen, I don't think Anakin's a peacekeeper, man. He's on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
I think
I agree with
Anakin's
that.
more of a warrior than he's peacekeeper.
Yep. Mace Windu is also a warrior, but I think he's more critical about it. Anakin's like, hey, listen, yeah, cool, I'm a warrior. Mace Windu's like, oh no, I'm a peacekeeper, you know. So
at least Anakin doesn't pretend to be like. He doesn't pretend to be. Oh, I'm only a peacekeeper. What are you? Like Mace Windu, he's pretty much a warrior. He just pretends like he's so righteous. I think that's the problem with Mace Windu. He's just very self-righteous. I think he's a warrior, but he pretends to be a peacekeeper. Anakin is just he doesn't care if he's seen as a warrior.
I wonder how Mace Windu is like up on authority with Yoda. I don't know why Yoda doesn't see the flaws of Mace Windu. Maybe because Mace Windu always speaks up, and Yoda just lets him. I've never seen Yoda talk back to him. Never.
Yeah,
I've never.
Yeah.
I feel like Yoda is a little bit like he just lets what happen. Like if Mace Windu says something, he just lets it happen. Like
Yeah,
I feel like Mace Windu is more in control than probably Yoda. Yoda's more like a guy. Like people look to him for guidance, but I think Mace Windu is actually the decision maker. I'm pretty sure.
It's when Yoda doesn't agree, he'll maybe speak his opinion, but he'll never like directly talk to Mace Windu. So I don't agree with that. I think he should.
Yeah. Yoda's very. I think Yoda's just very passive. He's not really confrontational. Like, Mace Windu, he's like, take a seat, man.
Yeah, like Mace Windu, when he disagrees with Yoda, he says, "Yo, man, like, no, we're not doing that." It's like, dude, he's a little bit asshole. I wouldn't want him as master. Seriously.
I feel like he'd be good for like discipline, but anything else, no.
I think he needs some discipline himself.
Yeah, that is true.
So
That's true.
I mean, to me, look, I think Mace got a little too crazy. When you become the judge, the jury, and the executioner, when you decide to do things on your own, when you decide, like, for instance, he's telling Anakin, go take a seat. Like, wait a minute, if anybody's in charge here, it's you. You let Yoda explain what's going on. Right. You should be sitting there. You're second in charge. Who are you? Like, that was the first thing that bothered me, the first comment. I was like, wait a minute, you shouldn't be saying that. You know, that's not, you're out of place to say that. It should be Master Yoda who says, young Skywalker, boom, this is whatever.
Yeah.
I felt it was wrong for him to say that. Then the second action, which really bothered me, was he's too powerful to be alive. But who are you to make that call? Anakin was right. He needs to be trialed. He needs to go to trial. Oh, well, he's too powerful. Okay, so then why were you, if he was so powerful, why did you like you said earlier, Luke, go with Kit Fisto and somebody else. You should have went with Yoda. You should have been there with Kenobi. You should have been there with Anakin. Now, how powerful is he? You got the top 4 there. Or Plo Koon. Bring Plo Koon with you.
Cut in
So I'm like,
that one guy, the long head guy. Bring him as well. Just bring all the powerful masters. Yeah, Mundi or whatever.
Yeah.
Bring all the best warriors.
Yeah, Wendy's just arrogant. He
He's
thinks like, oh, I can beat him on my own. I mean, he did beat him, but I think if he did bring a couple more Jedi, they probably could have blocked Anakin's attack. Like you know how he cut off his arm. He probably could have tried to prevent that.
The thing is that for me, if Yoda would have handled Anakin, not Mace Windu, like when Mace Windu said, "Take a seat," if Yoda would have said something instead of Mace Windu, I think Anakin would have reacted less harshly because Anakin respects Yoda. You can tell in the Clone Wars, whatever Yoda says, Anakin respects, and he's not mad about it. But whenever Mace says something, it just makes Anakin mad and angry. I don't know if you noticed that, but I think Yoda should handle it.
I agree. I think that the Mace overstepped his boundaries. He got out of line. He didn't respect his place in line. And if Yoda would have handled it, it would have been a whole different ballgame. But Yoda was the one in Kashyyyk. So Mace took over, and then Mace took it upon himself to go do things. Well, we got to get him out of power now. Well, wait, why do you? I was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Everybody's still fighting. Wait till they come back and say, okay, now Dooku's gone. Now Grievous is gone. Now that we're all back here, we have to make a decision because this guy should not be in power anymore. The war is over. And how do you do that? Well, when someone shouldn't be in power and they've gone past their terms, there's a vote. There's a vote of who's going to be next in line. Not that you go there and kill somebody or arrest them. It would be, they should have came back from the war, and then there should have been a vote. Okay, council, listen, thank you for your service, but your time is up now. We need to have a vote of who's going to be the next one in charge. Who's going to be the next chancellor.
Also,
who made you go with, what gave you the right to do what you did? And because you kept overstepping your boundaries, Anakin got picked off. He's like, listen, dude, do you know who I am? Seriously. Yeah, Anakin, it's like when a bully keeps pushing you to the point that you just don't think anymore. Your fear is gone, and you're just like, that's it. You have now crossed the border with me. And that's exactly what he did when he went to threaten Palpatine. In my opinion.
When the obvious response, when there's a bully, you're obviously like, fuck you, man. I'm gonna come back at you, dude. It's not gonna be, oh, I'm just gonna let things be. No, when there's a bully, you're like, fuck you,
See, because when you bully, I've been bullied in the past. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend. No, it's happened, And at first I was like, man, this guy's gonna kick my butt. This guy's gonna hurt me. This guy. So I'm gonna back off. Okay, back off. But then it got to a point that I was like, no, now you've crossed the border, and I don't care anymore. And that was it. And that was it. And then we just went at it, and that was the end of that. But it took that moment for him to finally respect me. And that's when I realized that that's what it takes sometimes. You have to stand up for yourself for this person to back off, because otherwise they think they control you. And I think that's what Mace did. Mace took it upon himself to say, hey, I'm running the show here. I'm running the show. And I was like, no, you're not, bro. This is Yoda's show. This is the Yoda show, not the Mace Windu show.
Right. The thing is here, I think that Anakin went a bit far by cutting off his hand. I don't think you should cut off a bully's hand. But I think that was a little bit over, a little bit. But I think that he should have maybe blocked his lightsaber strike. Maybe.
Because is it illegal to be a Sith in the Republic? Is that a law? Because that's pretty much what they're arresting him for. Oh, you're a Sith Lord. Boom, you're arrested. I don't.
Well, I think they would have tried him, and then they would have made a decision. It would have been either execution.
Yeah. Also,
I think, punishment for life.
Windu would have been a good Sith. He would have been a very.
Yeah.
If he was a Sith Lord, man, he would have been a very.
You know,
I agree.
You know who'd be the best Sith though?
What?
Kill them, I must. Yoda.
No. I feel like I feel like Mace Windu could be like turned to the dark side, but one thing that can prevent him from doing that is because he's like so like high and mighty. He feels like he's over everybody that he might like. Oh, I'm not turning. I'm better than that. Like so, but I feel like he would make probably like a very arrogant Sith, very like I'm better than others type of thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I could have seen Mace Windu going that route. I could have seen him becoming Sith. Or you know what they never did? They never did what was called the Gray Jedi, where you're the in-between, where you have Sith in you, but you're able to control that.
Yeah.
They say it's just a fan theory, and I guess it is. But he would have fit that role. Dooku would have fit that role. Qui-Gon Jinn would have fit that role. These would have been guys. Ahsoka Tano would have fit that role.
Anakin.
They would have fit people who they have good intent, but you know, there's still some of that. Sometimes you gotta go the other way to get the job done. You know, Anakin would have fit that role.
I think
But-
Anakin probably signify like the best, you know. Because
Yeah,
he just uses methods that are considered wrong by the Jedi.
Man, you know what? I blame
Yeah,
on this
motive.
on Padme. Frick you, Padme, man. You turned him to the dark side. And woman, of course, it had to be a woman. Of course, they always mess things up.
that's funny. I can't make a comment on that. But overall, okay, so let me get now. We've talked about the Clone Wars, we talked about Anakin's character, we talked about Mace. So we'll finish up here with talking about the Clone Wars in episode 7. Maybe next time, hopefully, I gotta have you guys on the show. We'll talk more about the rest of the Clone Wars, the other seasons. So season 7, let's talk about the last arc, the Siege of Mandalore. You know, let's get into that because we all agree. I think everybody agrees that was probably one of the best of the Clone Wars we've seen. Which one of those 4 was like blew your mind, and why did it blow your mind? What was it?
Episode 10. I think episode 11 was close, but I still think episode 10 was better because I loved seeing Maul and Ahsoka go at it. And I thought the fight was very good. Like, I could tell in the Clone Wars, like as the series went on, the fights kind of got a little bit dull, a little bit. But for that episode, it was very like raw. It's not like the same stuff every time. The movement is very well done. And again, as you said, I like shattering with the glass. That was like really good visuals. It's like a really good scene, and it's everything that I wanted to see. And I'll close off with the Mandalorian arc, like what happened to Mandalorian, what happened to like stuff. Like I was satisfied with it. So that was my favorite episode arc. How about you, Jen?
I would say my favorite arc is probably when Order 66 happens. I don't know which one is that.
So the episode 11 when Rex turned on Ahsoka?
Yeah, because I think that the music, they incorporated music incredibly well there because it's like super eerie and everything. And it's nice. It's what we were all waiting for, pretty much. Like, we were all waiting for Order 66. That's pretty much the main focal point of this arc. It was Order 66. So there's a lot of tension there, and then it finally, boom, it happened. So that's probably why. It's just the main thing that we were all waiting for. So that's probably why.
This is a
Also
good
nice to
point.
see- it's also nice to see Rex and what he did in Order 66. That was very nice. Like, I was very tense at that moment. So
Rex and Ahsoka have a very strong connection. You could tell that they became very good friends throughout the show. It was nice to see how close it actually became.
What do you guys think of this comment right here before I give my opinion? The Jedi truly wanted the Sith to be destroyed and extinct.
I think they did.
Yeah, of course they did. Phantom Menace, you could
which is-
see it. I thought they were extinct. Like they wanted it
Yeah.
to be that.
Like they're pretty much hunting down the Sith. Like I bet Mace Windu would have
That's
killed Dooku. Anakin, like when he was about to cut off Dooku's head. I bet Mace Windu would have done it too. So
Oh, he would have done worse, dude. He would have.
Yeah.
yeah, he'd be like, yeah, he would be, yeah. It's kind of they're
He
more
probably
similar than
He probably would have left Obi-Wan as well. Go figure.
yeah. I think they're
What
a little
happened?
bit similar.
What'd you say
somewhat.
about Obi-Wan?
I think that even Mace Windu would have left Obi-Wan. Like, frick this dude. He's so weak, man.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah.
I don't need him.
If it was
Yeah, you're right.
Anakin, if it was Anakin that was stuck there, he definitely would have. He'd be like, "Oh, good." He would definitely would have left Anakin there.
Now, here's a question.
Would have gotten a chair for him. Take a seat. Just made him.
Here's, here's another question I had, and this is brought up, so this got me thinking because I keep seeing him post these things. It's making me think. Now, Snook says it perfectly. He says, "When the dark rises, the light's there to meet it." And the same could be said about when the light's there. Let's think about how this all got started. When Return of the Jedi was done, there was no Sith. It was Luke Skywalker. Who was the Sith? Right? There was no Sith. So what happened? I'm going to go into hiding so the Sith can't rise again. Right? Because there's no Jedi, there's no Sith. But that's not true. We found out that, well, if you're not going to be the Jedi, there'll be another. So my question is, it's a never-ending cycle, right? Because you can never truly eliminate one or the other. The Force is always going to... See, that's when they say there's got to be balance of the Force. So what's balance then? Balance is not, it's just a Jedi. And balance is not, it's just a Sith. There's got to be an in-between. And that's why I feel like the true ultimate Jedi or Sith, in my opinion, would be, again, that fan fiction thing called the Gray Jedi. Which would be
Better
ahead.
yet, just take them all out. Take the Sith out. Take the Jedi out. You know, they create so much drama in the galaxy. The Skywalker saga, so much drama, man. Like, get your drama out of here, man.
Maybe the balance means they're just destined to fight each other. Like, it's never going to end. Maybe that's like the destiny of the galaxy.
As I
It's
said,
just
and
for the Sith and Jedi to keep fighting, like, forever. Like a huge, just a stalemate forever, pretty much. I think maybe that's the quote unquote balance. I don't know.
then just wipe them out, man. We don't need their crap.
Maybe that too.
Like, you know what would have been funny? Imagine that they're fighting, and then they had some soldiers say, you know what? We're going to wipe you both out. Now the Sith and the Jedi turn around like, oh, man, we've got to team up
yeah.
to fight them off.
I'd be
Now,
like,
would that be balance? Would that be balance?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think they could. I don't think the Sith would be willing, to be honest. They
Dude,
probably
I
still
would-
kill
I
the
would-
Jedi.
if I were a Sith or Jedi, I'd be like, well, screw you. Figure this out on your own. I'm going and hide.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe if they knew the together was the only way they were going to survive, because they would just hunt them down. They're like, okay, we killed the Jedi, now we just got to hunt you down, and you're dead. Where are you going to hide? We're going to find you. You'd survive, but you know what kind of a life would
There's
you
another
have?
thing. You know, the Separatists. I feel like some of the Jedi probably should have done a Separatist. Like because they're still Separatists, like planets. Some planets still were loyal to the Separatists. Because
Right.
the cause of the Separatists was a little like it wasn't pure evil. At least like the planets.
Yeah.
Maybe the corporations that owned, like that were the droid that provided the droids, maybe they were evil, but the planets themselves, they just wanted to be independent from the Republic, pretty much.
Just
Yeah,
So
So that it comes down to this from a certain point of view.
yeah.
Because if you really let's deep think about it. Let's just see, okay, the clones are good, the droids are bad, but wait a minute. Now the clones kill the Jedi, now they're bad. So wait, who's bad?
Yeah.
If you look at it from a point of view, a certain point of view, which most people don't think outside the box, they're just sitting there watching and that's it. But if you think outside the box, like you said, Chad, all they wanted to be was they didn't agree with the Republic way. And they saw it as like, okay, you're forcing me to do something that I choose not to do. So either I do what you say or I fight against you. And when you think about it, the clones were actually the Empire.
Yeah.
Let's reverse it, right? Because you would see all the good things that they did. They tried to save people. And yes, I agree with that. But let's look at it from a separatist point of view, because we never get the other side. We always get the Jedi side, the clone side. But if you think about Dooku's side, and I thought about this is why I loved Count Dooku, because I tried to think the opposite way. Dooku was like, you guys are being run by a Sith Lord. You understand that? He told Kenobi straight out, there's a Sith Lord here trying to control everything. So join me. Again, what Maul told Ahsoka Tano, join me. Let's stop this thing. And what did Obi-Wan say? The same thing that Ahsoka said. I can't believe it. That can't be true. You're lying to me. And in the end, neither Maul nor Dooku were lying to either one of them. How must you feel when you find out that everybody's wiped out and you're Ahsoka Tano or you're Obi-Wan Kenobi, knowing that they told the truth and you might have been the one that prevented all that death?
Hey, I just had something come up. If Maul wanted Ahsoka to join him so badly, like, why her? I was just thinking, he must have the hots for her or something, no?
Well, I think he saw this. He's like, remember, he was hoping for Kenobi. He didn't get Kenobi. He didn't get Kenobi. He didn't get Anakin. So he's sitting as a point like, listen, I can't do it by myself, but maybe with her I can. He doesn't know for sure. He's not saying me and Tano are going to be able to defeat. Maybe they both lose. Maybe it doesn't happen. Because if you remember the Clone Wars, or was it Rebels? I can't remember. I think it was Clone Wars. When Palpatine finds out about Maul, and Maul's like, oh my God, it's you. Like, he's so excited, so happy. Master, you're back. He's like, dude, I'm not here to join you. I'm here to kill you. So here you have Savage Opress and Maul taking him on, and they can't beat him.
Man, he cucked him, man.
I felt bad for Maul at that point because, like, he was like, oh, like, I feel like Palpatine he did betray Maul, because I feel like Maul could have been a better apprentice than Dooku, to be honest, because he was more in tune with the dark side. Dooku is more like you said, he's not really pure.
Dooku's an old guy. Maul would have lasted longer than Dooku.
Dooku's not really a pure Sith. Like, when you think of it, he's not really purely. He's not as Sith as Darth Vader or Dooku was, or Maul even. He's more of like a not really a light Sith, but more of like a Sith, but like he only does it for his own power. He doesn't do it because he believes in like the Sith ideology and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is where people misconcept Dooku and Grievous. Grievous was in it because the Jedi were killing his people, and he wanted revenge. He took it too far, but he wanted, and Dooku kind of tricked him too. Dooku made his ship explode, and he survived. So the reason why Grievous looks the way he looks is because of Dooku. Dooku was playing with his body and trying to make a force power, and he lied to him. So that wasn't exactly the nicest thing to do to some human being. I mean, hello. But Grievous was only in it because of the Jedi. Dooku was in it because he was once in the Jedi Order. But what they did, he was trying to teach the younglings, things, and they didn't agree with his teachings. Like, we don't agree with you, so we're kicking you out of here. And he's like, what are you doing? So he started to see, like Qui-Gon Jinn started to see, they're becoming power hungry. They're making decisions they should not be making. They're not politicians. This is not their place to run. They're supposed to keep the peace, man. When two people are fighting, they're supposed to come in and try to say, hey, look, all right, calm down, relax, let's try to settle this. Not come here, hey, let's kill you. We're going to take over. We're going to kill you. You're in charge? Okay, we're going to kill you. Now I'm in charge. Well, well, wait a minute. That's not your job. So they, like Dooku said, they lost who they were. And Palpatine played both sides of the field. Everybody was nothing but a pawn on a chess table to him. That's all it was. He used everybody to get what he wanted. Every single person in the Clone Wars was used by him, including Anakin, who becomes Darth Vader, still gets used by Palpatine. And the whole thing is, all Palpatine wants is control of everything.
Yeah, Palpatine.
All he wants is control.
Rob, I think you have a whiny little Luke at your house.
What happened?
I think you have a whiny little Luke at your house from episode.
Hold on, I want to show you that. Well, this is, in case you didn't check out the Entertainment Crew, this is their review. That's their link down there.
Yep.
Make sure you drop by, give them some support. New channel, check them out. They're a good group of guys you could hear. They know their stuff. So check out this link right here. Check out these two guys right over here. What happened?
Oh, I had to edit. I forgot. Yeah, I had to edit episode 12 review, one that's most recent. So yeah.
Let's say, well, the clones were forced with the inhibited chip commanding them to kill the Jedi. That's very true. Palpatine was controlling both sides of the war. Yes. Also, when Anakin was about to cut off Dooku's head, Dooku was going to reveal who Palpatine truly was, but didn't. And I don't know why. That is a huge fact, by the way. And I don't know why he didn't. Also, the reason why Dooku didn't have Sith eyes because he didn't fully embrace the dark side. Absolutely true. This is all true, he's saying. Wow, this is all true. And also, Darth Vader thought he was going to become another Grievous. I think Darth Vader thought that he was going to, it was going to be his empire. If you remember Revenge of the Sith, he tells Kenobi, my empire. I'm like, wait a minute, it's not your empire. But his goal throughout was to
probably
take
planning on, yeah.
And he needed someone else. He also needed someone else because of that suit restricted him from doing things. That suit caused him pain. He couldn't do it himself, just like Maul. Vader knew he was powerful, very powerful, but he wasn't powerful enough to beat Sidious. He needed another. And he even tells Luke in Empire Strikes Back, join me, and together we can rule as father and son. His whole goal was he became so powerful. His goal was he was going to be the new empire. He was going to take control. He was going to run the galaxy. That was Vader's goal. That's what Vader wanted to do. Dooku did not. Dooku thought in his brain, like Grievous did, that we're fighting for freedom. That's what we're fighting for. We're in a fight of our lives. We're fighting for freedom. This is a war. These guys are trying to control us, but they show it as if they're evil.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Out of all the masters, like if I were to choose one, Vader, Palpatine, or Maul, I think of all the masters I'd want to have, I think I'd choose Maul. Because like Palpatine, he just freaking light shock you all the time. Vader, he'd be like, kind of terrifying. He'd probably force choke you.
Yeah.
Maul would actually treat you good. The only bad thing is you'd have to look at his teeth.
What was that? The last comment?
No, the only bad thing about Maul, I think he'd be a little bit harsh when he used his teeth. You'd have to look at that.
Yeah.
Chad,
also, Maul would be easier to if he tried to kill you. Maul, he'd be easier to beat.
Savage Opress, he actually treated Savage Opress good.
Well,
if Savage Opress, he at one point he tested I might be better than you. And
how about if he put Dooku in there? I wouldn't pick Dooku.
Nah, I wouldn't pick Dooku. You saw he was Ventress.
And Savage too. Savage.
But you know what? Listen, Dooku was only like that because of Palpatine. And Palpatine was like, dude, listen, you're going to take him out or I take you out. So now Dooku's like, well, it's my life or hers. What am I going to choose?
Yeah,
mine?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not going to die for her. No.
Yeah.
Dooku was kind of forced into it. And Dooku realizes that Dooku was rich, by the way. Dooku was rich. That's why they called him Count. He was rich. He had money. He was supporting the Separatist army. But he knew that with Palpatine, he knew that he could win the war. So he said, look, if I don't do what this guy says, I'm going to lose this war. And why did I do all this for? To die? I did all this to fight for freedom. That's what he's doing. In my eyes, he's fighting for freedom. Some of the choices he made were terrible. He could have gone better about doing. Like he almost turned on Grievous. He turns on Ventress. I'm like, that's not the right thing. You should build an army, build the most powerful people you can.
Yeah.
Then if you want to wipe them out after the war's over, go ahead. But you're going to need the help to fight a war. How are you going to fight hundreds of Jedi by yourself? It's not going to happen.
I feel like a separatist victory in the thing without Sidious, with only like, let's say Dooku's the emperor of the separatists. I feel like that would be a little bit better than an empire, like the Empire eventually came to be. I feel like it would be a little bit better.
What do you think, Luke?
I'm not too sure, but I think that they I think that what were the solutions you had, by the way?
Separatists winning the war or the Empire?
I think Empire would.
Empire would be better.
I think Empire would probably be better.
Why do you think that?
I think that they are more powerful. Like
no, I'm talking about like as in living. Like if you're a person living in the galaxy, if you had to choose between living under the Empire, living under a separatist, and this is after the war, so there's like the battle droids. They're just there because like for.
It's the same thing because
I wouldn't say it's the same thing.
Yeah, because Palpatine, even if the Separatists won, Palpatine was still in control of them.
No, I said only with Dooku as the head, not Palpatine.
He's saying if you have Dooku and the Separatists, or you have Palpatine in the Empire, which one
I
do
would
you
probably pick Dooku because I don't want to see Palpatine's ugly face all the time on the.
Plus Dooku actually, I think he was gonna, like, he wasn't gonna kill all the Jedi. I'm pretty sure he was gonna have them go into like, become pretty much Sith, not like full on Sith, but he's gonna recruit them like the rest of the Jedi to be like his followers pretty much. He wasn't gonna kill them all.
Yeah, I would pick the Separatist because I mean Palpatine, he's not a guy to hang out with. I don't think I'd like his moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would pick Dooku too because I like when that part of Geonosis, when he has them all surrounded.
Maybe.
And he's like, you fought valiantly, just surrender. You could see in his heart, he didn't really want this to happen. He's like, man, I don't want to do this, but you're forcing me to do this because you're giving me no option. You're acting like, oh, you're horrible, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't want to, but I have to because you're interfering. You're trying to control me and you're trying to take over the galaxy. That's how he saw it. He saw them as trying to take over the galaxy. And he didn't want that to happen.
The funny thing is,
that's why they're the separatists. I don't know if people really dig that and get that and comprehend that or accept that. But this is what's happening in this war. This is what's happening. He's trying to say, look, I see what you don't. I see what you're blind to. You guys don't realize you have a Sith Lord who's telling you what to do. I see it. I see it happening. Now, the only thing is, I don't know if he knew Palpatine was who he was. Did he know that? Did he know that Palpatine and Chancellor were the same person?
I feel like he did.
Or did he think that Palpatine was someone different who was on his side? I don't know. I never knew that. I don't know truly if he knows that Chancellor Palpatine is who's working with him also. Because when he sees him, he always sees him with the hood on and the cloak.
Yeah.
But the Jedi don't see that. The Jedi see him as a regular human being.
He could have blackmailed Palpatine, like, give me control of it, or I'm gonna tell the Jedi. Like he could have like used that information against
Another thing is, I think that if we had Dooku as like in control instead of Palpatine, maybe you could get close to Dooku, be friends with him. If he's a count and he has a lot of money, maybe you could get some of that.
Okay, I feel like Dooku could be turned to the light side. I feel like he at least has. I think he has some hope. But yeah. Palpatine, no, he's not gonna.
Maybe a girl turned Anakin to the dark side. A girl turned Count Dooku to the light
Oh
side.
my, dude, what?
Opposite effect. I listen. I think that Dooku could have easily, like he says here. Let me show. Hold on. Let me show you this comment. Dooku might give you a chance. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you guys. I think that if Dooku was in charge and it wasn't Palpatine, I think he would have been persuaded of things. That, like, you know what, you're just doing this. I think the Jedis might have been able to persuade him back, and he might have showed them what they did wrong, and things then could have leveled out. That's what I think would have happened. I think then you would have got true peace. But Palpatine, there was no way you were getting peace. Vader, there's no way you're getting peace. They are Maul, you're not getting peace. They're so Sith, there's no going back. Look, Kylo Ren's a perfect example of that. Kylo Ren was torn. Dooku, to me, you see there's bits and pieces of him being torn. He talks to Obi-Wan. Had Obi-Wan said, you know what? You're right. I see what you're seeing. I'm gonna join. Had Obi-Wan changed his mind, that might have reflected and changed everything.
I realized something. Anakin was turned bad by Padme. Kylo was turned good by Rey. There we go.
Yeah.
So my theory is right.
Yeah, I think it is possible. I think that with Dooku in charge, things leveled out.
I think Qui-Gon could have turned Dooku. Like, if Qui-Gon was alive, I feel like I think he would have, like, 99% chance he would have turned Dooku.
I mean, I guess if you like guys, that's your thing.
That's not what I mean.
I think with that at the point, by the way, when Maul was there before Dooku came, I read this about Dooku. When he learns that Qui-Gon gets killed, that's when he leaves the Order. That's when he's had enough. That was his last straw with the Order. When they didn't follow his teachings, when they doubted him, and then he learned that Qui-Gon Jinn, they sent him off and he got killed by Maul. That's when he said, now I've had enough. Now I've had enough. That's when he decided to bail. That was his moment. And that's when he became part of the Separatists and started the whole war and funded the droids and got the other planets involved. That was his last straw. When he knew, because he was very close to, I don't know if you remember this guy's name, Master Diaz, Cypher Diaz.
Yeah.
And Qui-Gon Jinn. These were his boys. Those were his boys. He was trained by Yoda. Yoda was his master.
Man.
So Dooku was one of the best duelists around. Him, Mace, Yoda, and Palpatine were the best four. They were the best four duelists around. And that's what happened. Hey, Fatal J, how are you? How you been, man? Another good channel if you want to follow this guy. Let me show him. Hold on. Is it showing? No, it's not showing. Hold on. Now hopefully it shows.
Who's the best? Nah, he's not, man. Come on. Let's be real.
I think Dooku. Listen, I love Dooku. I think he was one of the best. Here's one thing that bothered me about the Fatal. If you want to put your link to your channel, feel free, man. You can put it in the comment section. Don't worry about it. If
Batman's better.
He said Dooku has a cape. I love characters with capes.
Batman's better.
I like that too, man. It's just true. Dooku's a cape. I love it. It's true. I like the cape. I think the capes are more refined. You know, like Dooku to me, he was.
Kylo Ren had a cape. Where's the love for him?
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, you know what it was with Kylo Ren. Here's what it was. He turned, like, he didn't have much of a story. Like, okay, he turned. Why did he turn? The reason for him turning, and I did like 3 videos on this. The reason that Kylo Ren turns is solely because he was neglected by his parents. That's it. He was neglected, so he was a spoiled brat. So Snoke talked in his ear, blah, 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 and he's like, yeah, screw them, fuck them. I'm going with you. And that was it. Dooku was like, dude, you killed somebody I cared about so much. He shouldn't have been the person you sent. And now you don't want to follow my teachings, and you're going to try to control this galaxy because I see what's going on here. You guys are trying on a power trip. I can't let this happen. So I know somebody who will help me to guide me so I can end this war and I could bring peace. I think that's what Dooku thought. So I felt it for Dooku. I certainly, Kylo, I don't know. He's so torn. He kills his father. Like, why'd you kill your father? Oh, because I had to impress him. I had to show him I'm evil.
You know,
Each time, I don't even know if I'm evil. I have no idea if I'm evil or light. I can't make up my mind.
right.
Like, really?
I think the most powerful thing in Star Wars is Kylo Ren's nose. It's so huge.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna put this up. Fatal J says, Rob, that video you made about Dooku was genius. Dooku tried to warn the Jedi. The Jedi were stuck in their ways. Yeah, that's what we're saying. That's exactly what we're saying. And a lot of people either can't accept this fact or don't want to accept this fact. You know, listen, it's just, I didn't write the story. This is what it is. If people read into it, read into characters, read into lore, they'll see these. They'll see these.
Yeah, they should have delved deeper, I think, into Dooku's story as Separatist, because I feel like they only showed one side of the story in the Clone Wars. I feel like they should have showed a little bit more of what the Separatist senators believed in, what like the system, why they turned to Separatists. Like I would like to see more of that, but I mean they did some of it, but not a lot. So that would have been nice.
Yeah, I think that if they made movies like we got the Vader, we got the Yoda, we got the Dooku, we got the Grievous, if we got these solo movies, or you might make whatever trilogy, whatever. I think people could understand their characters more and would understand Star Wars even deeper if they showed their history, their backstory. Like, how awesome would it be? They show Grievous and they show the war of his people being invaded, and you're like, well, what's this? What's going on? Who are these people?
Yeah,
it's brand new to everybody. We never seen this alien species. We never saw Grievous's species. Something entirely new. Something entirely new. Everybody would see Grievous. Same thing with Dooku. My God, they could do it like the Clone Wars. He senses, he feels Qui-Gon's death. You see him. Show the story. Show the background. Show what they're about. If they dug deep, people would get a full understanding of this, and that's what you said earlier. You were talking about the clones and how with the battalions and how deep they dug with these things, and that's what makes Battlefront 2 fun to play. It makes, because the 41st Battalion, the 501st, this battalion, this general, going so deep in Star Wars is what draws more people in. And I agree with you totally, Chad, when you said that, because I thought that was brilliant. That's exactly what draws people even more into the Clone Wars, is the stories behind the clones, the stories of Ahsoka Tano, the story of Anakin, Obi-Wan. Like Obi-Wan, I never knew ever. Would I have ever guessed that Obi-Wan had feelings for a woman? I didn't know that.
That's funny. I was watching that because that's in season 2. I was seeing that, and I was like, wow, man, Obi-Wan actually has got some moves behind his back. I was surprised there. That arc, the Lorraine arc was very good, because I remember Satine just like freaking went up to him and was like, oh, I don't know about the beard. And he's like, why? And then, I just picked that, it was really funny. And Anakin made fun of him too. He's like, all right, I'm going to go get this. You go save your girlfriend. It was really funny.
Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. I think Obi-Wan, he played by the book, but there was that part in him. It was there. It was that temptation where he wanted to be just a little bit like Anakin, have a wife, have a family. It was there, but he realized if I do that, they'll expel me from the order, and I can't keep. I gotta keep.
My new game.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Mike.
And I gotta get my emotions in check. If I use my emotions, I might choose the wrong thing. And he was right about that, because Anakin did. Anakin chose his wife over the war.
The thing is,
and turned, and look what happened.
In season 2, the closing out of the Mandalorian arc, when Satine was like being captured, she was being held. She thought she was gonna die, so she admitted her feelings. And then Obi-Wan was like, if you would have told me to leave the order, I would have. If you had said the word, I would have left the order for you. That. I was like, wow. I was surprised.
Yeah, I think that Kenobi might have done the same thing. She might have said, "Listen, why?"
There's a theory where Obi-Wan had a son with Satine. There's a theory on that.
That's not.
No, because there was what do you call it? Satine had like her nephew who was staying with her looked like looked like a mix between Obi-Wan and Satine. So there's like
No way, man. Obi-Wan is not. Nah, man. So you're telling me now that Obi-Wan's been putting in some work here.
Yes, back then, yes. Because
he was a real hit with the ladies, that's what you're saying.
Yes, with Satine, yes. It could have. I could see it because I don't think they would do that. Maybe they were trying to hint at something, but I don't know because her nephew really looks like an Obi-Wan young version of Obi-Wan from Episode 1. So I don't know.
Wow, Obi-Wan, naughty man, disobeying the rules.
I mean, Anakin did it, so I mean.
Listen, Anakin, he just doesn't give a crap, man.
Wait,
I mean, listen.
You think Obi-Wan's paying child support, Luke?
I don't know. Hey, here's the thing. If I were Anakin, I don't blame him. I would have done the same thing. Padme's hot. I would have gone too. If she was like dressing up all like that for me in Attack of the Clones, I'd be like, frick this, man. Frick this.
Actually,
Anakin had reason to leave. If you remember, he told Ahsoka Tano when she was leaving, he said, yeah, I felt that way too. Why? I'll tell you why. Because he felt like he wasn't appreciated. He felt like all he did, you're sending me on all these missions. I'm doing all these things. I've learned so much. And you're not going to rank me master. You're going to put me down. You're going to keep having this problem with me. So when people have negative towards you, and no matter what you do, you cannot, this goes in life. This goes in your life, my life, anybody's life. If you're doing everything you can, everything for your boss, for whoever, your girl, whoever you're with, whatever, your spouse, whatever, and you can't make that person up no matter how much you do, you get to a point that you're like, screw this, man, I'm done. And I'm at work and I said, dude, I made you tons of money. I've done everything. I've done the reports. Spent overtime. I've done everything for your company. I put my family at risk for your company. And you don't appreciate me? Really? You're not going to give me a raise? You're not going to give me the position I deserve? You know what? I'm leaving because the door's there and there's another company that's going to appreciate me. It goes for anything in life. And this is exactly how Anakin felt. Okay. I got to end the stream in like a couple minutes. So he was at the point that he could no longer take it. He was about to have a family. And he was like, maybe I should just leave the order and have my family and have peace. That would have been his best choice. But unfortunately, that vision clouded everything. And Mace Windu was the one who pushed him off the deep end. And that's it. That's the whole story. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
I know it's like Dave Filoni said, Star Wars is about family. Lucas said the same thing. Star Wars is about family. What did Anakin have? Family. He had 2 kids coming. He had his wife. Was about his family. And all the decisions he made wasn't the wisest because he had that attachment. Kenobi didn't have the attachment. That's another factor if you think about it. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but that's how I feel.
I agree with you.
So here's what hold on, my good friend Ben. I love this guy's just really awesome. And TG Shadow, the Mandalorian, thank you for being here the whole time, man. You stayed the whole time. I really appreciate that. Palpatine just got apprentices to use them, and then he got rid of them. Oh my God. Perfect. Dude, so on point. He was looking to replace Darth Vader with Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
He wanted Luke to join him.
I bet
he didn't care if Vader. He didn't care about Vader. Once Luke beat Vader, he's like, okay, you can join me. Take your place at your father's side. Join me.
After Luke got old, he probably would have got Kylo Ren. If Luke turned, he probably would have tried to get Kylo Ren to kill Luke. So I bet it'd just be like a cycle of him getting apprentices and stuff.
Yeah.
That's exact. He doesn't care. Palpatine cared about no one. Where Dooku, we were talking about, cared.
He cared about himself. That's what he cared.
Yeah, that's true.
You're right. He only He only cared about himself. Guys, I gotta end the stream in about. Yeah, I gotta get going. I know I'm coming.
All right.
So I got like a lot of stuff to do. I got people coming and stuff.
Stream off. Stream off.
Listen, before we go, why don't you guys drop your channel there in the comment section, and let everybody know about your channel, man. This is the time. It's the ball's yours.
All right, we do Star Wars videos. We do a lot of reviews. Recently, we've done Clone Wars reviews a lot. We do a variety. We do some Marvel, but recently we've
some DC as well, but mainly it is entertainment. But right now we're focusing on Star Wars.
I'm working on some versus videos, some what ifs and stuff. So yeah.
Are you strictly just Star Wars, or will you be doing also entertainment stuff too?
Right now we're trying to just build a fan base on Star Wars, but we're gonna be expanding as it grows, like the DC and Marvel.
We want to focus on one thing, because if it's too like scrambled, it's not going to work out as well. So we're thinking stay on one, and then as we get more support, we'll kind of focus on
stuff. Yeah. So
just want to say hi to Ben V and Jedi Purge. Jedi Purge is another channel. If you want to check him out, another good channel you guys should check out. He's a young channel like you guys. He took a year off and he just started again. And so he's only got like 25 subs. So he's kind of like where you guys are, just starting out. So hope you guys check him out. He's a good guy. Hopefully I'll have him on my stream in the future. So anyway, this is the entertainment crew. This is up here. I got to point the opposite way. This is Luke. Below is Chad. This is the entertainment crew. I really hope that people on my channel, if you're watching the replay, if you're here, thank you so much for your support today. I hope we entertained you, with my crew, the entertainment crew. Good guys. Love their channel. Hope you check them out. Check out Fatal J, the Jedi Purge. There's other channels that dropped in here. Please check them out. My community, I always say support each other. Let's get each other's back, watch each other's videos. Then we can come on these chats and talk all about it in the future, because now I got the capability so we could all join and hang out and talk about whatever's going on in Star Wars. Luke and Chad, I appreciate you guys so much for being on my channel today. I thank you so much. It was really exciting to finally talk to the great Luke, who's supported me from day one. And Chad, it's nice to finally meet you. I've seen your channel for about a month now. So I just want to thank you for taking your time, coming on, hanging out with my friends like the Mandalorian, Jedi Purge, and Ben V, and other people's Fatal J, everybody who stopped by today. Thank you so much. I know I talk a lot, sorry. But it was great having you guys on. I was really honored. Thank you so much. Anything you guys want to say before I...
you too. It's fine. Last by meeting. Yeah.
Rob, I remember when we played games together, it was really fun. I like doing that.
Yeah.
Well, I do Battlefront 2 streams. I'll be streaming tomorrow. If you guys ever want, I could always arrange for an afternoon or a time that conveniences you. We could work it out, It's up to you guys.
To all the ladies, Shad is single.
Well, you want to look for him. There you go.
Right.
He's right there.
It's out, ladies. Come on.
Guys, it's been great. I know you joined late, Jedi Purge, but I started at 2. Tomorrow, just to let you all know, 2 o'clock again, I will have the Imperial Academy on. And if you guys want to join, I think I might be able to do that. But that's up to you guys. It's up to you. If you want to join me in the Imperial Academy.
We'll see.
I'll drop you guys a link, and if you guys want to join, I'll be on tomorrow. Again, same time, 2 o'clock with the Imperial Academy. So, guys, it's been great. I love you all, but I have to end the stream. I've got a lot to do. You guys be well, and I'll see the entertainment crew once again. Take care. You want to say goodbye, Maya? Yeah. Say goodbye. Come say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, Luke.
Goodbye, Luke.
Say goodbye, Chad.
Goodbye, Chad.
Later, guys. Take care, man. Take care, everyone.
Nice one.
I can't end it. It won't end.